Alright. I have to beg you to humor me for a few moments while I explain one thing and wrap up 4 others. First, the explanation. I told you guys in my channel announcement video or whatever that I was going to be hanging out after videos upload for an hour or so or whatever, and I'm going to be actively engaging with comments during that time. Thank God I did that. Like, thank God I said that shit. Ow. Thank God I said that shit. Thank God I've been doing that shit. After the Tim Pool versus Vosh video posted yesterday, I answered comments, refreshed, answered comments, refreshed, and the first comment from the Tim Pool versus Vosh video came in. And it was literally Vosh's full name and address. It was just, that's all it was. It was just like, Vosh is, and then it was listed out there like a fucking post office. You know, I mean, it was, I saw that, I immediately got furious pissed. I went to report the person. There was no, this person's fucking literally doing something highly illegal, you know, button. So I just went with harassment because I'm like, as close as you come, I guess. I don't know. So that was why I was so fucking pissed off. Now look, I don't like Vosh. I don't respect Vosh. But, like, you know, this is, it's YouTube. I'm not going to run the risk that I allow somebody to see that and go and do something extraordinarily fucking stupid. Like, that's never gonna happen. No matter how much I might not like him or respect him, he's still a human being. Foolish and ignorant as he may be, he's still a human being. And I'm not going to be a part of that shit. We can snipe back and forth and insult each other and yell and scream and all that stuff and whatever, it's a fun time. Fuck you and your ass, man. I'm not letting people get doxxed on my fucking channel. And I want to ask everybody, if you ever see that, report the motherfucker. Please. Don't let it sit there. Don't see it and walk by and go, ugh. Like, that's extremely bad. I am encouraging everybody that if they ever see that, you have my full permission. Full on report that motherfucker. It's wrong. I don't like it. I want to fuck with these people. I want to shit on these people. I want to debate their points of view and tell them how dumb they are. But I don't want to see them hurt. So that was where that all came from. Somebody doxed Vosh, and I took offense to that. The video that you know, the first part of the video that you saw was, I mean, I was so angry I couldn't even fucking think straight. I just started tearing shit apart and fucking throwing stuff down and just ripped that fucking anger right out of me and threw it out there because I wanted everybody to know how very fucking serious I am about that shit. Because I don't know why it happened. You know what I mean? Because like shit like that always, because this Vosh guy is very not honest. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's a thing where like I mean, I don't know. Again, I've watched 2 of the guys' video. I had to throw up both times because it's just so much horseshit. I couldn't palate it. So, you know what I mean? I just can't stand the fucking guy. So I don't know if he's one of those I'm constantly getting doxxed guys. But there are a lot of those I'm constantly getting doxxed people. And I oftentimes wonder, are you? Or do you have people that are doing that? You know? Like, so I don't know what the fuck, where it came from. I don't know if this is a setup of some sort or another. And I don't fucking care. No matter what it is, it's illegal. Like, and YouTube likes to pretend that while they are a platform, I am a fucking publisher. So, no. If you see somebody putting somebody's address in my comments, fucking delete it. do whatever. Report that motherfucker. Get it the fuck off my channel. Because YouTube likes to pretend that somehow they're not responsible for what I post on their site, but that you got, or that I am responsible for what you guys post in my comments. So that's a huge fucking no-no, and that's a huge fucking, hey, if you see that, please help me out by getting rid of it for me. So there's the explanation on that. Who it was that was doxxed and whether or not it actually happened. Yes, it actually happened, and yes, it was Vosh. Now to clear up some shit. Over the past week or so, I have been fucking around with 4 people. Tim, 2 commenters, and Vosh, kind of. I've been toying around with the idea of fucking with Vosh. As far as Tim, the thing, it's done. My problem with Tim was, he was lying. He was saying he was blacklisted. That's a lie, right? Tim, his response to it was to come out with a saving face, whatever, it's regional. And then, as far as I know, as far as what people in the comments have told me, and as far as I myself have seen in the videos of his that I've watched since then, he doesn't say it anymore. So me and Tim are done. That first video was enough, apparently, for me and Tim to be done. The second and third video were because a commenter wasn't quite getting what I was saying, and I wasn't quite getting what he was saying. We were both kind of making the same point, but about different things, and that's been cleared up. We got to a point where I understood that the crux of his argument was the difference between Tim Pool and Tim Cast. I didn't care about that. I wasn't talking about any of that. My crux was blacklist and shadow banned, right? So we were just arguing 2 different conversations. Like we were having 2 different arguments that sounded a lot alike. Really is what that was. So that's done. We've now gotten on the same page. Done. No more of that. Then one of Vosh's little teenage Twitch watchers fucking got in my comment section somehow. Somehow got past the fucking bouncer. I gotta retrain that guy how to spot a fake ID. But nevertheless, kids got in. Now there's a mess. And I did the first video because I thought he was giving me original points. It's the only reason I did the first video. Then he name drops Vosh, and then I look into Vosh and I go, oh, he's just a sheep. So then it was kind of more I was picking on Vosh with the second video. Like, that was kind of in my mind because I was going that direction. And I'm like, dude, this is the fucking product of your channel. These are the people that you're pumping out. This is the shit that they're leaving in people's comment sections. And they're dropping your name. You happy about that? Like, that was kind of more the second video. It was just to kind of poke at Vosh more than anything. And the reason I did that is because as I fucked with Vosh, I was going to bring that up and I was going to take clips. Anyways, never mind. I had a whole plan. But his comment, his response to the second video was, you're a fucking idiot. So he gave up. He surrendered. I'm fine with that. That's if any of the Vosh lovers that just watch me to hate me now, like they do Tim, if any of you guys are still sticking around, when you just insult me, that's you going, I give up, you're right, but I don't want to say that. Because I got a dude to stick up for. That's, if you don't come back to me with points, and by that I mean points that are addressing the points that I made in the video, right? If you misrepresent me in the video and say, all he's doing is bitching about the cat, that's like the first 5 minutes of the video. You have to pay attention longer than that. If you can watch a fucking 2-hour stream of Vosh, you can watch a 20-minute video of me. But you have to pay more attention to what I'm saying in my videos. Vosh drones and you just soak it all up while you sleep. You have to wake up here, okay? So, as far as I'm concerned, that dude's done. He gave up, right? And now we get to Vosh. There was a vote. Everybody got together put their heads together and came to a vote as to whether or not to vote Vosh off the island, so to speak. I told you all that I was going to look through it, and that I was going to hashtag out, or hash mark out, I have it here, hash mark out the results. It was stunningly lopsided. There was more votes in the losing category than I had originally counted. Originally I had counted 4. There was more than that. However, Vosh did not win. With a total of 15 to 6. It was a landslide. Vosh, you are off the island. You are the weakest link. You are dismissed from class. You can go. Alright? You're not hanging here because you can't hang with us intellectually. I'm very sorry. But I don't care about you. And nobody in my audience does either. So, except for the 6 people that literally every single one of them said, I vote yes just because I want another video of you yelling at him. So, even the people that voted yes weren't on your side. They wanted me to embarrass you more because they think it's fun to see you embarrassed. None, 0 of your people voted saying, I want to see you do it again because I like laughing at your stupidity while you try and get better on my dude. Like, nobody even said that. So, I just want you to understand that. Nobody wants to see me review your videos because you're a waste of our time. So, moving on.
What the hell is that? I don't know what the hell that is. What in the hell is that?
Everybody know that's Big Dick B.
I would not mess with that thing. Don't put your lips on it.
Nuclear power, the wave of the future. Right? As we've been discussing, solar and wind. Many people in the comments have been saying, but what the fuck about nukes, baby? And I like nuclear power. I do. However, nuclear power, as wonderful and efficient as it is, it has problems. One of those problems is nuclear waste, right? We still don't know what the fuck to do with that shit. Like, what do we do with nuclear waste? That's a problem. That is an issue of some sort. So, because of the fact that running nuclear plants creates nuclear waste, and we can't really dispose of nuclear waste because we don't know what to do with it, that's an issue. And that is probably the biggest reason why nuclear isn't used more than it is, because we don't know what to fucking do with the waste. And that's an issue. So, you know, that's what I mostly attribute to the reason why we don't have a lot more nuclear plants than we do. I mean, coal is just, it's one of those things where it's so much more efficient than solar or wind, because the only thing that coal is dependent on is the machine being fed. As long as there's somebody with a shovel willing to feed that furnace, we get power. That's how the shit works, right? So, and I don't think it even works like that anymore. I think they do it with machines now, but nevertheless, coal has to be fed into those fucking furnaces for us to get power. That's the only requirement, right? Solar is only good for half of the day, and you can only pull so much energy out of the sun. I will be going into that in its own video you guys have a treat coming up. I have a big project that I'm working on. I'm going to do a real thing with this. Because somebody got like all of the actual information, like numbers and everything on solar, and really lays out very nicely why it's not going to work. And I'm going to fucking read his comments. I'm going to read the whole thread, word for word, and I'm going to produce it into a cool video for him. He put that much work into it. I feel I got to put that much work into it too. It took him years to learn that shit the way he has and to get that much of an understanding for it. And it took him at least an hour, by my count, to fucking type all that shit out. I've got to at least spend a day or two doing real good actual editing and making a good video for him. So, that's coming up. We will be dissecting solar and why it just won't fucking work later on. But nevertheless, you can only pull so much fucking energy out of the sun when it's up. And it's only up half the day. So, actually it's not up any of the day. It's only up at night. But solar is extraordinarily inefficient. Wind, you need to have wind. If you live in a low-lying area, you don't get much wind. If you live in a, wavy terrain area, you don't get much wind. If you live in the lower parts of mountains, you don't get much fucking wind. So, wind is one of those things where you have to find a good spot that gets a lot of wind. Or else it only happens when the wind blows, and that's extremely inefficient. Because if it's a calm day, what? We're just going to sit in the dark today. Fuck you, it's the current day. Suck a dick, I ain't doing that shit. If we ever get nuked back into the Stone Ages, alright, fine. But as long as the power plant's still working, I want my fucking energy. I need a light so you idiots can see me. So, anyways, yeah. So solar and wind just not as good as coal because coal can run 24/7. But coal, while it's not as efficient as nuclear, it creates a lot more waste or a lot less waste. And nuclear waste is bad. So, I mean, apparently they all pollute in one way or another. People are talking about how solar panels are fucking adding to a lot of pollution, how fucking turbines are adding to a lot of pollution, killing all the birds, is that bad for the environment? Like, it's all bad for the environment. We weren't meant to have electricity piping into our homes. If we were meant to have that, God would have created houses for us that had electricity set up already. But we are capable of having electricity in our homes. And I think at this point we've kind of gotten used to it, and I think it's very beneficial for our existence. So, because of its beneficial nature, power on all the time is a good thing. I'm going to say it again. Power on all the time is a good thing. So nuclear is better, but the waste, man, until we figure out what to do with that waste, it's going to be nice to have, but we're not going to have it everywhere. You know what I mean? So that's a big issue. My second big issue is I don't want to have the government involved. At all. Really. Like, the government's going to have to regulate. Because if we allow the businesses to regulate themselves, we're going to have nuclear waste in fucking rivers again. I don't want that. So, the government is going to have to be an impartial regulator. But, the government is going to want to regulate the ever-loving shit out of them because all of us are that stupid. And I'm not even joking. Because the citizenry is retarded, doesn't understand things like science and stuff, our lawmakers are going to want to fucking regulate any new nuclear reactors into the ground. So that they can't even build the fucking thing before they're out of business. Right? So, I don't like the idea of the government having a hand in it. I don't like the idea of government-run nuclear facilities. We can ask the people of Pripyat how that shit works. But they're all dead now. because not too far away from that town was the Vladimir Lenin nuclear facility. We call it today Chernobyl. It was a state-run venture that went tits up. I believe it is still the only nuclear reactor in history to blow up. Nuclear reactors really don't blow up, they melt down. But these fucking idiots figured out how to make one blow up. And they were communist and state-run. I don't want our government running fucking nuclear facilities. Because they're stupid. And that's enough. Right? So, because of the fact that having new nuclear facilities go up without the government's grubby fucking fingers in it, the likelihood of that is so goddamn slim. I don't like the idea of new nuclear power. I just don't. Until we figure out how to deal with the waste, and unless we can figure out a way to not have the government fuck us in the ass and have a nuke literally go off in our country. You know what I mean? Because, like, man, if they can figure out how to fuck it up worse than Russia did, oh, they'll do it. Believe me. They'll have one literally mushroom cloud on us. And it'll be in downtown, wherever the fuck, but everybody for states is going to die. So, I don't want to do it. Because they're stupid. And that's enough. So, I love nuclear power. I love the idea of nuclear power. Playing Fallout New Vegas, or not New Vegas, Jesus Christ, I hated that fucking game. But like playing Fallout 3, when I played it the first time, that was really fucking cool. The idea of nuclear powered cars, you know what I mean? Nuclear powered robots that do our housework for us and shit like that. Like, if we start really delving into miniaturization of that technology, the way that we've done with, say, computers, that a computer this powerful used to fill up, I think, like 2 rooms in the 80s. 40 years later, I have a computer in my pocket that's better than my editing computer. So, you know what I mean? Like, if we can figure out miniaturization of nuclear technology and be able to make nuclear reactors that are, let's say, the size of a fucking, I don't know, a diesel truck engine. You know what I mean? Like a 16-wheeler truck engine. And you lug that fucking thing into the back of a car and just have a car that just runs forever. You know what I mean? Like that would be fucking sweet. But, you know, it was also really cool to walk around in that game and shoot the engines in the car and watch the big mushroom cloud go off and all the mutants die. And I am not so fucking stupid as to think that there won't be people shooting at fucking nuclear reactors on the back of cars. So, again, I also think of miniaturized nuclear technology as like the internet. As a species, human beings are not mature enough and quite possibly may never be mature enough to have such technology. So, yeah, I'll leave this here. Like I said, this weekend, I'm going to be really fucking busy with shit because I got to get my car fixed, and I'm going to work on getting streaming going, and I got to do this other video because, oh, it deserves it, and I've got some pretty funny ideas, I think. So, I'm going to do like a small documentary on why solar is for shit. And I'm so excited. Oh, and I'm going to pimp the dude's channel now. And I'm going to also be pimping it in that video. Give me 1 second. It's Sharpie443. You gotta work on the name, dude. SHARPIE 443. You need something more that rolls off the tongue more. You know what I mean? Anytime you've got a name with numbers in it, You know, so, but yeah, Sharpie 443. He's got a cool looking channel. Apparently he's like a beekeeper. And I can't wait to watch his channel just to watch the bee stuff, because I think that's cool. I did a report on bees when I was a kid, and I did a little bee dance for the class, and it got me an A. And so ever since then, I've really thought bees were really fucking cool, because I know about bees. I know things about them. So I want to watch this dude keep bees, because that'd be cool. So yeah, check out his channel, Sharpie 443, and watch bees get kept. And yeah, that's my thoughts on nuclear. People were bringing it up, and I was just kind of like, I don't think I've ever gone into what I think about nuclear, and now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.